Hey everyone, welcome back to the shop. It's another tree video. I probably will take a break from tree videos in a bit, but I'm need to put in some small trees in some of the scenery I'm doing. So I figured I'd do a quick little video on how to do twine trees. Hope you enjoy it. I've made some of these larger trees a while ago, and I wanted to do some much smaller ones. So I will do a kind of a step-by-step process explaining how I did them. This is a very old technique using twine. There's lots of videos around, and I'll explain bits and pieces as I go. So this is what they look like when they're done. I use static grass, a hazy green static grass. I've made lots and lots of these this year. This one's a little thin. You look down on the branches, it's a little thin, but they were great, kind of massed together, and pennies, less than a penny, to build them in just a little bit of time. I'm using just a really inexpensive twine. It's okay. It's some kind of sisal. It's not the greatest, but it works. The first couple of steps you have to do is you take this sisal and you just back twist it, and you can break it up into small little chunks. This is 26 gauge florist wire. It's pretty thin stuff. I have some heavier stuff for doing bigger trees. You just take it, fold it in half. Probably doesn't show great on against the green back. Put a little eyelet in it. You start taking your sisal, and I just put it in, give it a twist or two. Take my next bunch, put it in, give it a twist or two. You can use baling twine. I have some baling twine, but I've been using this lighter stuff to try to get. Sometimes when you see these trees that other people have done, they're really thick, and I'm trying to go for more of an open kind of look. I'll show what they look like when they're done in a bit. But I'm only going to go about four levels of sisal. Take the cordless screwdriver. You chuck the wires into the end. Tighten it up. This sisal tends to be really a little stubborn at times, so as I'm tightening it, I like to keep twisting it because it just doesn't always do what you want it to do. This 26 gauge wire is really light, so you don't want to go really cranking on it. So I went ahead and I finished making a bunch of these trees. These particular ones I made really tiny. I don't know how well this is picking this up. Many of these are really, really small compared to what I've done in the past. I hit this with some rattle can moss green. It's the 2X Rust-Oleum, and once they dry out, then I will move towards using static grass. I started using static grass for this instead of ground foam. It has a nicer drape over the branches, and it gives a better look. Most of these look pretty good. This one, there's one here that's a little funky, might need to be trimmed up a little bit. In the past, I've painted the stems a light brown or a brown color. I probably hit them. I just used my brand new paint booth to do it. It was really nice to be able to spray paint in here. I don't have it vented outside yet, so I still get a little bit of fumes, but I don't have as much particulate. This weekend I'll probably try to rig up the vent to go outside. Now it's time to add the static grass. This is Woodland Scenic's medium green. It's the kind of a hazier green. Use a little yogurt container. Pretty much like I do everything else. So I'll do one here. I'm gonna do some more after that, but I'm just gonna bore you with the one. I get a set of clamps. Same as the other trees, same as the deciduous trees. You're gonna give them a healthy coat of Suave Max Hold. When I do this, I don't do it like I don't use the electronic applicator. You just want to drape this on. No, I think I can get it in here close enough to see. So you just want to have that needle effect, especially when you look at this top. It's really what I'm looking for. And then I just put it into a holding block. I save all the scraps of foam and just use them to hold the pieces as I finish them. So I'm going to do the rest of this pile in here and move on to planting. So I'm all set. What I'm waiting for right now is for everything to dry. Let that hairspray dry out really pretty good, and then I will hit these trees with a solid coat of this 2X Ultra Cover matte spray, which will lock everything in. I screwed up and used medium green static grass on these trees. These were with dark, and then these were with medium. I don't know if this is going to pick up the difference. You could go back over and dust it with the darker green. I actually like it. It looks a little bit more like young white pines versus a hemlock or a spruce. So I'm going to leave it. I'm really digging some of these really little guys here. This is, you know, not much more than an inch tall, so in my scale it's about 13 feet. So if you put a person next to it, it's going to look really interesting. The trunks are a bit thin. Some of them are a little heavier than other ones. But again, remembering that in N scale, things are pretty small, and if you have like a really big fat trunk, it could be significantly bigger than you're expecting. These trunks are, I would say, somewhere between 6 inches and 8 inches in scale. It's not horrible, and they could be bigger, and there's a few different tricks that you could do. You could dip the wire ends into latex to build them up. There's a couple things like that you could do, but I'm not even going to bother. I'm going to plant them. One of the points of doing these little trees was to give myself some lower trees for the forest I'm planting. So I'm pretty happy with them. I really like how sparse some of these are. This back here is a good example. So a couple of these I was pretty thick with the amount of sisal I put in there, and they're okay, but I like the thinner, like this guy on here on the end, more individual branches. So thanks for joining me, and I hope you enjoyed it. I'm probably going to be moving on to something else. I have a little rock face I need to do near the scene that I'm working on, so I think I might switch up from the trees to doing some rocks, and I still need to put the finishing touches on the deciduous tree video, and I'll be posting that too. Thanks everybody, have a great day.